All right. Good morning, everyone. Hopefully, you guys are here. Okay, fine. If you guys have missed our DevHost 2020 videos, you guys can go to our channel and they will be there. So, anyways, for those people who have been to SOSC's first event, so we will be introducing what the open source community is. It's going to be a very brief session, and then we'll jump to Git plus GitHub, and right after that we will be looking at how to use Git. Okay, so starting from the open source community. So SOSC in short, we are conglomeration of communities which are present in our college. So yeah, so it's all based on open source, right? As the name suggests, the open source community. We work on open source. We like to promote open source in our college as well as wherever we can. So mostly all the students that we have across city. All right. So what open source is before we get into Git, we all need to understand what open source is. So open source is pretty much, let's say that this is you. All right, and yeah, so let's say that this is you and you are working on a code, right? So you wrote a code, and what if whenever you write a code, there are always some room for improvements, right? So what if you want to improve your code, or let's say that you have a problem with your code, which I think most of us face every day. So as students, this is like our daily scenario of facing problems. Or let's say that you want to work with a friend. So traditional methods include using pen drives, or how using hardware device to combine with your friends. But let's say that you want to work overseas. How will you? Is it? I don't think it's feasible to send your pen drive all the way to US if you are working with someone who's staying there. Or let's say that you just want to flex your code. You wrote something really nice and you want to show the world that I have done this. Yeah, let's say anything that you created and you are very proud of it. How will you show it to the world? So this is where open source comes into play. Open source, as the name suggests, open, which is everyone can access it, and source, which is a terminology for your source code, the program which you wrote. So when you say open source, you are making your program available to everyone in the world. Now, how can you do it? Well, let's say that you have a Facebook account and you publish your code on your Facebook profile. Well, that can be considered as open source as well, because you are showing your code to the world. And but the thing is, Facebook isn't meant for coding, right? And it's, although you can make it open source, but I don't think that's like very good thing, because you can't really collaborate there. So in this case, we have different open source platforms which gives you a place where you can host your projects. Okay, so now when you make your source code open source, what happens is people across the world, they can look into your code. So all the problems that you had, if you wanted to improve your code, or if you had any problem with the code, these people can help you improve it, because you might be a beginner, but there might be someone who has been working on it for past 30 years, right? So these people can help you. So some of the open source projects that we have are shown on the screen. So you have Linux and Android, one of the most one of the well-known open source projects. So we all use our Androids, but we can see that although we have the same Android versions, there are some differences in the UI or some features. Now this occurs because the source code, the base source code is similar. So let's say you have Android 10. The base source code will be same, but what companies do is they take this source code, they improve it in their own versions and sell it out to you guys. Now, the open source community. Now we are a community, as it says, driven by tech enthusiasts. So we started as a very small community in 2017, and now we have grown to like around 200 people, like in our team. And so we are having different clubs and communities inside our main community, and you can see on the screen we have developer students club, Then we have Django Girls. We have SOSWC, which is the open source women's community. This we exclusively started for women so that we promote women in technical aspects. And then we have Women Tech Makers, which is similar to DSC, but it is also started by Google, just like DSC. And then we have GitHub Campus Experts. So right now you can see that me and him are wearing these red jacket, these red hoodies, and these are nothing but provided to us by GitHub Campus Experts, because we have completed the course and the training which is provided by GitHub for Campus Experts. And then we have Mozilla Campus Clubs. So these can be found, I think, almost in 70 to 80% of engineering colleges. It's pretty famous. Then we have Node School, and so we have started Node School chapter in our college. Then we have Hack Club. It is also another community. So what happens is the Hack Club is usually for high school kids in countries other than India, but then in India they started it for the colleges as well. Then we have Microsoft Student Partners. So this is another program by Microsoft for promoting technology. So for the Sayadrians, what do we look for? I think it is pretty clear that we don't want your technical skills. We don't, because we have various domains in it. Fine. So I think that should be it for the Sayadri open source community. But now let's talk about Git and GitHub. Introduction. Yeah, fine. Okay, so I think if you go into Google and if you write Git, it's pretty clear. It says something like Git is distributed version control system and all those things, which I think can contain a lot of confusing terminologies, right? So we will get back to you with a presentation in just a minute. Alright, so I think on your screen you can see what is Git, right? So what is Git is, it says Git is a distributed version control system for tracking changes in source code during software development. Now, Git is basically a VCS, right? Version control system. So what do you think comes to your mind when you hear version control system? Basically a software which is controlling your versions, right? Yeah. So it is pretty much that. So you have whenever you code, right, you might be having let's say that you are creating a code of Facebook. So what is the first thing that you will do? You will create a login page, right? And okay, fine. So you created a login page. Next thing what you will do is, let's say you are creating the profile page. What happens if you are if your login page and your profile page is connected and you mess something up? Your login page will be ruined as well. So in this, what you can do is you can make different versions of your software. So first version, you can just roll out your login page, right? And then you can roll out your profile page. And if, in case you mess something up in the later stages, you can just go back to previous versions. So what it will do is all the changes that you made, it will be reverted back to your first version, right? So you can consider it something similar to a game, right? So when you play a game, you have different checkpoints throughout. So what happens is, if you complete the level 1, then you complete the level 2, right? Then you go for level 3. And in case you mess something while going to level 4, what you can do is you die and you come back to level 3. So this is something similar to what Git does. And next is GitHub. So it says GitHub brings together. So as I said an example about publishing your code to Facebook. Why? The thing is, how can you collaborate? You have a code and then publishing it on your Facebook, and the main problem with publishing it anywhere is because not everyone is a developer. Not everyone is working on whatever you are working on, right? And I don't think sharing your code with your friends who are in some other backgrounds makes any sense. So this is where one place where everyone have the same mentality, everyone is in same field comes in. So they can collaborate with each other. And this is where GitHub comes in. So it's the largest open source platform where you can host your repositories. Right? So you can push your code to GitHub and people across the world who are working on the same category as yours, they can look into your code and they can contribute. Right. So now we'll just go into a quick fine. So this is the page of GitHub, right? And yeah, so this is the page of GitHub, and I think Swasthik will be continuing with how to download Git and how to continue with GitHub. Right now, before we get into GitHub and Git, let's just give a quick introduction to why why campus experts started, and yeah, because I think we didn't introduce ourselves, and we will be introducing ourselves. So my name is Akashdeep Bhagat, and I'm a campus expert, and yeah, I'm also president of Saudi open source community, and I became campus expert in 2018. And
my name is Swasthik Shetty. I'm a GitHub campus expert, Microsoft Student Learn Ambassador, lead of Hack Club, and the technical head of SOSC. So yeah, over to Akash.
Fine. So I think we will. You can see the screen right now, and it's pretty clear. You have the sign in and sign up. So for the people who haven't signed up till now, you guys can just click on sign up, and you guys can just fill up your username, whatever username you want. Then you have email and password, and I think it's pretty clear. So after you're done with signing up yourself, you can go and check your email. Yeah, so this is till then you guys can sign in or sign up whatever you have. And right, so now we will show you how to download Git, and I think Swasthik will be doing it.
Yeah, so I'll be continuing how to install Git and how to use that. So yeah, let me share my screen first. So I think you got a glimpse about Git and GitHub. So we'll go on. We'll do a hands-on session right now. So I think my screen is visible. Yeah. So if you are using Windows, then you need to have a Git, because you don't have a terminal which is like that powerful compared to Linux. So if you are in Linux, then you need not download Git. So if you're in Windows, then you can just go to git-scm.com page, and then you can just have an option here to download Git. So if you just click on that, it will automatically download a file, and you can just save it. So I already have a Git file, so I already installed, so I am not gonna do that again. So once you install that, you can just right click on the on your desktop, and here you can see the options. You have option to use Git Bash and Git Gui. So Git Bash is like a CLI where you can write commands. So if you are a beginner, then I don't think it is more friendly to you. So you can just go with the GUI. GUI is like very easy. It is like a graphical user interface where you have buttons and text fields to write the text. So yeah, we'll create a GitHub repo right now. Just go to github.com and okay, so this is a profile page where you can see all the username, all the repos, and all the contributions. So we'll go to repositories and create one repo. So repository is nothing but a folder where you can put your code or the project and show to the whole world. So we'll create a repo. So I'll name it as Git Workshop. So here you have option to add the description. So if you're building some projects, then you can add the description there. It's optional. It's a good practice if you describe what your repo contains, so that others can look into that and they need not go through the whole code. So we'll write GitHub Workshop. So we have option to choose between private and public. So if it is public, then it's like you're making your repo open source, so that whole world can see it. So if you're making it private, then maybe you and your friend who has access to that can can see that repo. So I'll make it public right now, and you have option to add the readme file. So you might be seeing the readme file whenever you install or download some games or softwares. You will have the readme.md file where they explain all the rules and how to install, how to use that. So it's a good practice if you have a readme file, so that others can get a glimpse about your project, and it is helpful for your documentation as well. So we'll add a readme file as well, and yeah, just click on create repository. Yeah, so once you do that, you'll get get into this page. So here you can see you have option to copy the URL. So now now we are working on the remote repository. So we'll download the repository to our local machine, and we'll start working there. So to do that, you need Git GUI or the Git Bash. So now we are focusing on beginners, so we'll be using Git GUI. So if you are familiar with the terminal there and the Unix commands, then you can go with the Git Bash as well. So in this workshop, we'll go with Git GUI. So yeah, this is how it looks like. You have option to create a new repository, you have option to clone your existing repository, and you have option to open your existing repository. So cloning is nothing but you downloading your files from remote machine to a local machine. So remote machine is GitHub and the local machine is your computer. So we'll just clone the repository which we have created just now, and we'll just copy the URL and we'll paste it here. Okay, then you have option to choose your path. So okay, we'll get into this folder and create a folder called Git Workshop. So here you need to notice that the repo name and the your folder name has to be same, or else you will get an error. So we'll just clone a repo. So once you clone your repo, you can see here your repo which you created just now is downloaded, and you can see the files here. You can just verify if you need. You have readme file, and even here you have readme file. So yeah, this is how you clone your repo from your local remote machine to a local machine. So we'll try to add some files now. Okay, this is a Git GUI where you can this is like very simple and not complicated as Git Bash. So if you're using Linux or Mac OS, then I think you have some other packages for Git GUI. So it's more efficient if you use a terminal, because it's Linux and Mac OS. And yeah, we'll add some files here. We'll create a Python file, and just add some lines of code. So here you can see I added a line called I added a print statement. So you can even notice here your file has been added. So we'll just save and minimize it. So once you do that, you can see here As Akash told, Git is a virtual control machine which tracks all your changes and the files. So you can get back to the previous commit, and if you mess your code, then you can just go back to your previous commit and start working from there. So now you can see, if you rescan your whole folder, you can see there is one file called program.py which is unstaged. That is because your Git virtual machine is it didn't track your the changes. So you can tell your Git to track all the changes. So to do so, you just need to stage change. So once you do that, all the changes will be tracked by Git. So yeah, and then you can write a commit message. So commit message is nothing but you're just explaining what you have done, so that your a friend or someone who looks at the changes, he will get to know what changes you have made. So if you're working on a really big project, and if you edit some 1 or 2 lines in between, it's very hard to track. So this will help you in doing that. So we'll write a message saying added print statement. So once you do that, you can just commit the message, and now it has successfully committed. And then now you can push your code to your GitHub. See, now you're working on your local machine, but if you check your remote machine, it's nothing, it's just the same. You don't have any extra files. So to push your code from your local machine to your remote machine, you just need to run the command push if you're using terminal, and if you're using Git Gui, then you have a button to push your code. So once you just click on that, you will get an option to choose your branch. So I'll be talking about the branch later. So you can like right now you're just working on one branch, which is the master branch. So master branch is the main branch. So we'll just push the code from your master branch, and we'll just push. So once you push all the changes, it will automatically it will say it successfully pushed the changes, and you can see on the screen it says success. So we'll check our remote machine whether it got updated or not. So once you refresh, you can see that okay, they changed the branch name, guys. Let's do one thing. Wait, I'll delete extra branches so that you don't get confused. So master is the main branch. So if you just refresh, you can see the changes added print statement 2 minutes ago. So we have added the code, and you can see the code even here. It's just the same code which you have written 2 minutes ago. So so now I hope you got an idea how to push your code from your local machine to your remote machine. So I'll do some changes in GitHub, and then I'll teach how to pull all the changes to your local machine. So we'll just edit the code. We'll just write another print statement. So you have option to write the commit saying commit message. So we'll write so once you do that, you have option to describe if it's a big change. So now we just added a print added just a line, so I don't think we need to explain it. So we'll just commit the changes. So once you do that, you can just check here you are in master branch, and if you just open your program.py file, or your changes have been updated, and there are 2 statements right now. But if you check your local machine, it's still the same. even if you refresh, it's just having a single line, because your local machine like don't understand what changes you have done in GitHub. So every time when you do that, you just need to pull your changes to your local machine, and it will automatically update all the changes. So to do so, we'll just we have an option here to pull all the changes from your GitHub to your local machine. To do so, you just need to go to remote, fetch, origin. So origin is a now by default origin is the master branch, so you don't have any other option to pull changes from other branches. So right now we are just having one branch, which is origin. So we'll just pull all the changes from the origin. So once you do that, you get success message saying all the changes have been pulled to your local machine. And here if you go to merge and local merge, you are just updating your origin / master branch. So your files are not your files are not updated now. To update your files, you just need to go to origin / master branch and just select that branch and just click on merge. So once you do that, you can see here 3 changes, and there are like 2 lines added, and one line has been deleted. So you can see 2 insertions and 1 deletions. So only one file has been changed because we are working on program.py. So yeah. So now if you check your local repository and the files, the new line has been automatically updated. That is because you have pulled all the changes from your remote repository to your local machine. So yeah. So I think you understood how to change the code in GitHub and pull all the changes to your local machine. So now we'll talk about branches. So branches is nothing but by default there is a master branch which is like a root. So branches are nothing but copying all the files and duplicating it. So if you are seeing, like if you are using any apps, then you get updates regularly. So master branch is a branch is a stable branch where all the files are stable. So if you want to add or add some features, so you have to create a new branch and then add it there, because if you add it directly to the master branch and by chance if it crashes, then your whole app or the website will crash. So it's a good practice to create a new branch every time and do the changes there, and then check all whether it is working fine. So if it is working fine, then you can push those changes to your master branch and you can deploy it. So to create a new branch, you just need to go to branch and create. You can name it as new branch, or you can name it as anything. So I'll be I'll be writing as new branch, and you have option to select the branch from. So right now we are just having a one branch which is master. So we'll just create a duplicate of master branch. If you're having some other branches, then you have option to select even that. So we'll just use master right now, and we'll create a new branch. So once you create new branch, you can just check here. You have successfully created a new branch. So yeah. So if you want to switch between your branches, then you just need to go to branches and you have option to checkout. So checkout is nothing but you're just changing your branches. So right now we were in master and now we are in a new branch. We'll just check out to a new branch, and you can see here it says your current branch is new branch. So yeah. So right now you just copied all the files from your master branch to your new branch. So we'll try to add some files, add some do some changes to your code. So we'll add extra lines. We'll just add a line and saying Akash is here. So once you do that, just save your code, and then you can rescan again. I think I had explained it early. Rescanning is nothing but you are scanning, you're just going through all your folders and checking the changes. So you can see here you can see the lines which are mentioned in green color is a new line, and if it is mentioned in red line, then the line has been deleted. So you can see here I added 2 extra lines called Swasthik here and Akash is here, and deleted a previous line which is Swasthik here. So once you do that, you need to commit the changes so that Git will track all the changes. So to do so, you just need to stage change, and it will automatically start tracking all the changes. So once you do that, you just need write a simple message saying what changes you have done. I'll just tell I added extra line. Commit message is nothing but you just telling your friend what changes you have made. So once you do that, you just sign off, and then you can just commit the message. Okay, so now so you can just notice here we are in new branch, and even here you can just notice so even here you can notice that we are in new branch. But if we go back to the master branch, what you can see, we'll just see that now. So to switch the branch, you just need to use checkout. So we'll go back to the master branch and check what are the files are available. So once you check out your master branch, you can see here you are in master branch, and you can just see two lines of code. But you have just added an extra line. So you added extra line, but that is in the new branch. So just we'll go back to the previous branch and just show the changes. You can see here there are like only 2 lines, and then if you check out to the new branch, okay, I am in a wrong option. We need to check out. I was in sorry, my bad. We'll just check out to the new branch and then just check out. You can see here there were 2 lines, and now there are 3 lines. So so you have created a new branch and added lines there, but your master branch is still lagging behind your new changes. So just to update your root branch, which is master, we just need to create a pull request. So pull request is nothing but you just saying just comparing all the changes and asking the owner to create a pull request. And merging is nothing but you just comparing the 2 files, 2 branches, and then you're just taking the new lines and the new changes and adding it to the previous branch, which is master branch. So we'll merge all the changes to your master branch. So okay, I by mistake closed. There's no much changes, so you are in new branch. So we'll just go back to the master branch. So we are in master branch. So whenever you create a merge request, you just need to go to the branch where you need to update your branch, and then you need to create a merge you just need to create a merge request. So you're merging from you have option to select the branches. Right now we are just having 1 branch, so we are just merging from new branch itself. So we'll just merge. So once you do that, you can just see here 1 file has been changed, and there are like 2 insertion and 1 deletion. So as I said, it tracks all the changes, and it just tells what changes have you made. So so if you check out to the master branch, you can see even here you can see all the files, all the changes have been updated successfully. So this is how you can create branches and add some lines, and then if it is working fine, then only you can push to the master branch. So so we have done creating branches and merging. So we'll push all the changes again to your local machine from your local machine to your remote machine. So if you check your GitHub now, we'll just refresh. So you can just see here, you can, having only one branch, and you are only having one file here, which is program.py, and it is having only two files. But if you compare your local machine, you have, you are in master branch, and there are like two branches, and you have three print statements. So you have made changes in a local machine, but it's not updated in your remote machine. So to do so, you just need to push your code from your local machine to a remote machine. So we'll do that now. So we'll get back to Git Gui, and once everything is everything is merged, then you can just go to remote, then push. You have option even here to push your changes. So you can use any of one of them. So you can just push the changes, and you have option to select the branches. So since we have already merged the changes to the master branch, you can just use the master branch. So we'll just push the changes to your changes to the remote machine. So yeah, so it says you successfully pushed all the changes to your remote machine. So once you do that, you can just go to your GitHub, and just get back to your repository and just refresh. So here you can see you have you have branches master here, and your file has been updated. There were 2 lines of code, now you have 3 lines of code. So yeah, this is how you work, and I'll just explain few options which are available in Git Gui. So yeah, so by mistakenly if you do some changes, so you have option to go back to, you have undo option, you have redo option, and you have branches. So I think I have explained create branch. So create is just creating a new branch, and checkout is just switching between branches. You have also option to rename your branch by mistake. If you type something, there's a typo, or type something wrong, you can just rename. And you have option to delete your branches. Like if you have too many branches, then I don't think it's necessary, you can just delete it. So also you have option to reset, if you just go back to single branch which is master, you can just click on reset. And you have option to commit. You can rescan, stage commit. All these changes, all these options will are available even here. You just you can just go to here and do that, or else you can just do it here. So merging is nothing but you are comparing between branches, and updating the other branch. And yeah, you have option to fetch all the changes from your remote machine to your local machine, and push all the changes from your local machine to remote machine. And yeah, I think that's it, I guess, from my side. Akash will be explaining how to create pull requests, how to collab with your friend or your teammate, and use Git and GitHub. So yeah, so over to Akash.
Okay, I can see people in the chat, getting all scared looking at what happens. Actually, you don't need to worry about branches right now. It's all for later stages, when you're collaborating with your friends. But right now, I'll just show you how to do a very... Yeah. It's still presenting. Okay.
Hide.
Just give me a second.
Just hide that.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So yeah, you don't have to worry much about branches right now, because since you guys are beginning level. So I hope you guys were clear with the initial concept of how to clone a repository from the GitHub page, then how to make changes and push it. Only till then would be very useful for if you are in a beginner level, and you can explore branches in the later stages and come back to this video and look at all that once you're clear with the basic 3 concepts. So pretty much there are 3 concepts. The first thing is you make some changes. Second thing is you commit, and the third thing is you push it. So what happens is obviously you are making a project and you need to write a code. So in the creation stage or updation stage, you do some changes or you create your files, and in committing stage you are telling the Git VCS to that you are not going to make any more changes to these files, right? But these changes are still not uploaded to your GitHub, and that is where the push option comes in, right? Right now you can see that he created Git Workshop project, and let's say that I'm his friend and I'm working with him on this. In this hackathon, I'm working on this project with him, right? And how I can do that is, well, first thing, of course, I need to log into my GitHub, since the repository is there. So I'll just write. Wait, I'm using. So there's a feature called two-factor authentication. You guys can do that, and you will get this screen for 6-digit code. This is just to keep your account secure. Right. So, yeah. Okay. So I have right now logged into my GitHub, and you guys can see that over here you have this option called search. So what I can do there is I can write Swaz, his username, GitHub username, and I can just search it. When I go there, you can see that there are some results here which says repositories results. So the thing is, repositories are nothing but your projects, your project files. So over here you call them repositories, but they're nothing but your project files, whatever you're working on. So what we will do is, since that's his username, I'll go to users. Over here, I'm hovering over it right now. You can see that there are 2 users matching it. So if I go here, you guys can see that there is Swasthik Shetty. So I will click on his profile. And once I click on his profile, you can see I'm over here, and on the top there is a repositories tab. So I'll just click on that, and I can see Git Workshop, which is the first thing, and it also says updated 6 minutes ago. Also over here it says the programming languages, which can be helpful, since if, let's say, he wasn't working with me in this hackathon and he just wanted to show it to the world. So if you are a JavaScript developer, there is no use of you looking into Python code, unless until you are interested in that. So that's why the GitHub shows you the language beforehand. So I'll just go to Git Workshop, and let's say I don't have anything in my computer right now, right? So first thing what I will do is, you guys can see my screen here. So I will create a new folder, and I will name it projects. Right. And you can see that I have created a new folder called project. Okay, I'll just keep it in the middle so that you guys can see it. Okay, so I have created a new folder, projects, and now I'll open this. So right now there isn't anything in my folder. It says my folder is empty, and I will download all my projects in this folder, right? So right now my first project, which will be the repository which he created, Git Workshop, I will be downloading that. So I will go to Git Bash here. You guys can see now you can use Git Bash if you are using CLI, but right now, since we are doing it for beginner levels, we are going to use Git Gui. So you can see that Git GUI is open. Now if I go back to my account, see, the thing is, right now the code is on his in his profile, right? And if I do any changes and try to push it, obviously you cannot just push directly into someone else's profile, because that's unauthenticated. So because let's say that you are working on a project, right, and then there is someone who just has made some really rubbish code, and he's just pushing into your, and it's you don't want it. So that's why GitHub doesn't allow you to push directly code to someone else's repository, and you need to have your own version of it, right? So how to create your own version of it is I'll just go to my GitHub once, and in my repositories, you can just click on your profile and you can see your repositories. So yeah, so right now in my repositories, you cannot see anything as Git Workshop with the project which he created, right? It's not in my profile. So how I will get into my profile is by clicking on something called as fork. You can see on the right most there is something called as fork, you know. So what I will do is I will fork it. What forking will do is you can click on your profile if you have like various organizations and stuff, but right now I'm just going to click on mine. If you are not in any organization, it will automatically just fork into your profile, right? So right now it says I'm forking Git Workshop, and if I go to my repositories, I'll refresh it once, and you can see that it shows Git Workshop here. And if I click on this, you can see that it says Akashdeep / Git Workshop. Whereas if you go into the original one, it says Swasthik / Git Workshop. Okay, so you need to keep in mind that you or whatever changes you are making to your own repository. Don't make it to your friend's repository, because usually we get queries such as you are not able to push, and that is one of the main reasons what we observe is people trying to push into their friend's repository directly, right? So that is not possible. You try to just use your own repository. So when you're sure that it says your name / Git Workshop or whatever project you have, it's then that you go for your code, right? And you can see the cloning link here. So just copy this. You can click here or just directly copy. Now if you remember, I created this project, I created this folder, and inside this folder I clicked on wait, I'll just close this for once. I right clicked and then I clicked on Git Gui here, right? If you do that, it will automatically run in this folder. So in source location is from where I'm downloading it, from where I am trying to clone it. I'll just paste it, and if you look at the URL as well, you can see that my name is in the middle, and that means I am cloning my own project. And in the target directory, either you can browse and do it, or you guys can just directly write Git Workshop or whatever project name you want it to be, and then you click on clone, and it shouldn't take much time. Okay, so let's say that he worked on the first version of it, or he made some things, so I need to get that to my computer so that I can make some more changes and push it back, right? So right now you guys can see that it is already cloned. So over here in my project, you guys can see Git Workshop is present, right? It downloaded and it's in my computer. So if I open this, the files are here, the program which he wrote. So now let me try to do some changes to it. Okay, so I will just open it. Let's open it with Notepad, and I will try to do some changes like print these are my changes. Okay, so now I have added a line called these are my changes, and I will save it. Right? As soon as I save it and I click on rescan, you guys can see that it says, yeah, this thing is in green. So what green means is, as he explained, the lines are added. So right now our line is added. Next thing what we will do is, as I said, there are 3 stages, right? So the first stage is creation or updation or anything, your changes, whatever changes you're doing. So right now we have completed our first stage, which is we have created our new line. Second thing what we will do is we are going to commit it. Right now, before committing, we'll just stage the changes. So in stage changes, you can see it's in green right now, right? If it is under this green, that means whatever commit you will do, it will be happening on that file. Okay, so once you are done with staging the changes, you can write a commit message. Now, why commit messages are important is when you're working with your friends, it's understandable. You guys are having small team and you are working on it. But what if you want to show it to someone who is working in some other place, right? So as soon as they look into your commit messages, they understand like something was added here. So you can write a commit message such as added login page or something. So whenever he wants to go to that particular thing, he can just look into commit messages, go over it. Okay. So right now I will write these are my changes, right? I made some. So my commit message will be I made some changes. Okay, and you can just click on sign off. Sign off, pretty much what it does is it adds your sign to the end of commit message. It's not important, but if you are collaborating again, so that people can see who actually made the commit. Okay, and then you can just click on commit. Once you do it, over here you can see it says created commit, and then there is some commit ID which is automatically generated, and it says the commit message I made some changes, right? This is the same message which I wrote here. Now next thing is push. So right now nothing will be on my repository over here. So Akashdeep / Git Workshop, and if I go to program.py, it still has the code which he wrote. My changes are still not shown here. So what I will do is I will click on push. Yeah, master. Now I'm logged in, but if you are doing it for the first time, it will ask you for your username and password, so you can just write it. But once you're done with that, every time after that, if you try to push it, it will automatically push. Okay, so it says success in green. That means it should be pushed. So we will check it now. Yeah, if I check it, you can see that it says these are my changes which I wrote in my local machine. And if you notice here next to my name on top, yeah, if you follow my cursor, it says I made some changes. This is the same message which I wrote in commit message. If I click on it, it tells me what changes were made. It says that this thing is green. That means these were added by me. All right. So yeah, so you can see, and over here it just says the file name. So what we need to do now is, right now these are in my. Now we were supposed to collaborate, right? And right now whatever changes I did, that's in my project. He still doesn't have it. So what we need to do in that case is, as I said, you cannot directly push to anyone else's project. So this is where pull requests come in. You are making some changes and you are creating a pull request saying the main person, the original creator, to pull the changes into his repository, the main repository, right? So if you're collaborating with your friend, you take the project from him, you make some changes, you push it to your repository, and then you ask him to pull those changes to his repository, which will be the main. Okay, now how we do that is, right now if I go to, this is in my account, you can see Akashdeep / Git Workshop. If I go down, it says these are my changes. Now this is in my repository. If I go to Swasthiks, if I go to program.py, it doesn't show here, right? So now I will ask him to pull the changes into his repository. And how you do that is, if you go, you just click on your repository, right? And on top you can see a message which says the branch is one commit ahead of his branch, Swasthik. That's his username. Right. So so this is automatically telling you that some changes were made by you, which he doesn't have it, right? So it automatically suggests you to create a pull request, asking him to pull. So I'll just click on pull request, and so there are some messages and stuff here, and it says what changes were made by me. It tells you that what changes were made by you, and do you confirm to pull request. So I will click on create pull request here. Okay, so it says they have written the message as well, discuss and review the changes in comparison with the others. So this is just a preface, and you can click on create pull request. Again, you can make some commit message here, and you click on create pull request. Alright, so now I have created a pull request. It says the branch has no conflicts, and yeah, so all checks have passed, all these things. So these are just messages which are automatically displayed. You don't have to worry about this. Now when I go to his account, right now I'm on his repository, and I refresh it, and somehow it's not on his screen. Now the problem here is I have just requested him, right? I have not pushed directly to his repository. This was just a request. Now if you go a little up, here is a tab of pull requests. Okay, now it says 2 pull requests. Yeah. So someone else has already created a pull request, Aditya. Yeah. I think that's his friend. Yeah, so someone has already created a pull request, but then this is my pull request, right? So this is my request and this is Aditya's request. So now there are 2 requests. Whichever he finds is better, he is going to merge it, right? And I think he will show you how to merge it. That's also pretty easy, because it's only like one or 2 clicks. Okay, so right now I have created a pull request, and he will show you how to merge it into the main project.
So yeah, I'll just explain how to see the changes and merge the pull request. So let me share my screen first.
Wait, I think there is a question from the turtle asking how do you start. Well, first thing, I think you can go, if you go a little back in the video, you can see it starts from your creating your GitHub account, first thing, and next thing is downloading Git. You download Git Bash or Git Gui to your local machine. After that, what you have to do is you create a repository on the GitHub page, like your own profile. I think he showed that as well. So that is also pretty easy. That's like 2 or 3 clicks. That's it. And then you clone it to your local machine. You make some changes and then you push it, right? You can see all those in the video. I think that should be clear. So yeah, I think you can continue with
yeah. I think your screen sharing. No?
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, we'll just start it. As Akash told, he already created a pull request. So now I have to, as a repo owner, I have to compare and check whether it's a valid pull request, and if it is the valid, or if he added a added a feature or improved my code, then I can obviously create a merge the pull request. So I'll just go back to my repo which I created earlier. So here you can see it says there are 2 pull requests. So I think Aditya Pai and Akashdeep have created pull requests. So I just open Akashdeep's pull request now. So here you can see Akashdeep have created a pull request, and it says it also shows the message, the commit message. So I think
you could show the file changes.
Yeah. So once you do that, you can compare the changes here. You have option to compare the changes. So as I said, if it is marked in green, it says he or someone added the line. If it is marked in red, it says someone deleted the line. So here you can see Akashdeep edited the file program.py and added a line, added a print line. So if it is a valid, and if it is a it improves your code, or he added some features, then you can obviously merge the pull request. So merging is nothing but you, as I said, like you just updating your repo. Yeah, so you have option here just to merge the changes. So you can also write the merge message, and you can just merge the pull request. So once you do that, you can just go back to the code, and then you can open the program.py file. Here you can see the line has been updated, which Akashdeep has been Akashdeep added. So yeah, also we'll see Aditya's pull request. I think he created a file aditya.py and added a print statement.
Yeah, can you show him how to review, like in case you don't want to merge it?
Yeah. So that's a good point. So imagine he created added some line which will cause harm to your code. So, and if you don't want to, merge the pull request, then you have option to, requesting for changes and closing the pull request. So under the review changes, you have option to, comment, approve, and request changes. So if you want if you want someone else to, change the code or make some changes, then you can just, click on that and write a message saying.
Let's say, enter your name as well.
Yeah. So I'll just write a message, enter your name, and I'll just submit review. So now now Aditya will get notification saying that Swaz has requested for the changes. That is because if I merge directly to my branch, my code, the whole code will will be harmed. Okay, so it's a good practice, you review the code, and if there are some changes, then you request them to make those changes, and then merge the pull request. Also you have option to close the pull request. So as I said, like if it is a spam pull request, or it's not useful, then you have option to merge the pull request. So I'm sorry, Aditya, you can create pull request again.
Yeah, I think he got it. He wrote it in the chat, so he already got the notification.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can see the chat section in the YouTube. So yeah, this is how you can do, and Akash can tell about Hacktoberfest as well.
Yeah, fine, sure. I'll be sharing my screen.
No, I'll just show you, like, if you know.
Okay, yeah, fine. Can you open the education pack as well?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So I think the first thing which we'll be showing is GitHub Education Pack. So I think a lot of people don't know about this. GitHub Education Pack gives students the ultimate power and tools that you can use. Alright, so you can click on GitHub Student Developer Pack. I think we will be putting it in the chat section. We'll be giving the link in the chat section, right? So yeah, can you go down? So over here, what GitHub Student Pack gives you is all these tools for really, like, okay, it's free.
Almost.
Okay, yeah, it's free. Everything is free for you guys. So there are like a lot of offers that they give you for free. So all you have to do is you have to sign up with your college email ID, right? And then they ask you to verify if you are not from an allowed list college. But yeah, it's pretty simple to do. It only takes like 2 or 3 days for verification at max. But yeah, all these things you get for free, including domain name. So you can create your own domain name, and yeah, you can host your website for free. That too for 1 year. So this is for 2 years that they give you, this student education pack, and you guys can use it. Would highly recommend, because what do you have to pay? Nothing, right? And yeah, so you guys can check it out. The link is already in the chat. Yeah, it has a lot of things, even JetBrains or MongoDB. If you guys are interested, it gives you almost $200 on MongoDB. You can, $200 credits on MongoDB. You guys can use that as well. Then GitHub Desktop, that is like easier version of Git. All these things what we did. It is almost the same thing, but very advanced UI. And yeah, Twilio. If you guys are into making WhatsApp bots, all those things, if you are into making bots and stuff with the SMSs or voice calls, all those things, you guys can use the Twilio platform as well. It gives you $50 as API credits. Then Mailgun, you can see it gives you 20,000 free emails. So mass mailing and all those things, you guys can use Mailgun API as well. So do check it out. Do go to the link in the chat box. And yeah, and after this, I think you guys should we'll go to Hacktoberfest. Yeah, so if you guys have already registered for our hackathon, and if you don't know, can you just go to dark mode, because who likes light mode? Yeah.
The t-shirt looks good.
If you guys, you guys can see that we are wearing these Hacktoberfest t-shirts, both of us, and these are from college. Yeah, Turtle. I think you're asking if college email ID. Yes, I think you need to have a college email ID. You can use your normal email ID, but then again you will have to upload your documents and stuff. And the thing with college email IDs is your college might be in allow list, so it takes only minutes to get verified. All right. So yeah, so you guys can see that we are wearing these t-shirts, and these t-shirts we got from all the way from Netherlands.
Yeah.
And this is due to Hacktoberfest last year, right? So what Hacktoberfest does is it's an international open source celebration, what we can say. So it is connected by DigitalOcean, GitHub, and Dev. So what it does is it's about promoting hackathons and open source in general, right? So there can be a lot of things going on throughout, and you will see a lot of events. Even if you are from some other college, you might be having some events as well with regard to Hacktoberfest. So what Hacktoberfest gives you is you can right now we showed you how to create pull requests, right? If you create four pull requests, valid pull requests, don't spam. If you create valid pull requests, you get a t-shirt for free, right? And it comes from Netherlands. It takes 1 month. Yeah, 1 month.
And also you get stickers and goodies.
Yeah, with the t-shirt you get stickers and some goodies as well. So all you need to do is just create 4 pull requests. You can make pull requests to your friends' projects, or you can create to anyone's projects on GitHub, right? And all you have to do is you can just go to start hacking.
Yeah.
If you click on start hacking over there, and you can click on sign in with GitHub. So all your pull requests have to be on GitHub. You cannot use some other platform. So yeah, right now you can see that Swasthik has created all these pull requests, and on the right you can see it says 4 of 4 pull requests. That means he has completed the Hacktoberfest challenge. Now what they will do is they will verify his pull requests, and if they are valid, they are going to give him the t-shirts. Now usually most of the pull requests are validated pretty easily, because because if you are legitly contributing, it doesn't matter if you are even updating the readme.me and creating something really good changes. If you're making some good changes, then you can get this. Yes, fine. So yeah, so you guys can just check this out. Plus is there anything else
about the events? You can just go to all you can view all the events which are going on during the Hacktoberfest, and also you can see our event here. So
you can see in the events it says Hack Night by SOSC. So that is again it is a part of Hacktoberfest. So every year we conduct a hackathon, almost 28 to 48 hours. So we conduct it every year, but usually we conduct it offline, but due to the pandemic situation we had to do it online. So you can go to our website. So this is a website. You guys can go here and apply for I think you guys have already applied in DevFolio. So prizes, sponsors. If you guys have any I think Aditya Pai has one more thing. All peers, all pull requests won't be accepted. It depends on if your pull request looks legit, as well as also you need to there are only 70,000, they say
70 to 75, I guess.
There are 70,000 people who will be getting the t-shirts. So as soon as you complete it, that's better. So do make sure that you complete it by today or tomorrow to have a advance. Fine. What else do we have?
That's it.
I think that should be it. And you guys hopefully you guys have already joined the Discord server if you are participating in the hackathon, and you guys will be assigned with some mentors. And if you guys have any doubts throughout your hackathon regarding Git or GitHub, you guys can ask your mentors, or you can ask us directly. We are in Hack Night Discord server as well, so you guys can mention it. Good, great Shimon. So fine, if you guys have any doubts, you guys can leave it in the comments.
And also, if you want to create a pull request and get a t-shirt, then you can just go to this repository where people are adding just simple programs which they do, like writing a loops and if conditions. You can check the, like, people have already added around 60 programs. So yeah, you can add simple programs in any language and create a pull request, but don't spam the simply spam editing the existing readme file or editing the code. If it is legit, then obviously we'll merge the pull request and it will be counted for your 4 pull request, and you will get a t-shirt from GitHub officially. So yeah, that's it, I guess. So if you have any queries, you can just drop it in the chat section. We'll try to answer it.
Or you can text us on Discord directly. You guys can just do @Swaz or @Akashdeep.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that should be it. We will wind up now, and the hackathon will be starting in like 45 minutes or something.
So yeah, thank you.